and start at this point then, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys, at this point, we'll go ahead and call the order. Let me get my agenda ready right here. So I believe all the councilmen are in. So right before roll call, I was actually going to turn this meeting over to Ms. McKean real quick so she can go through some of the rules of the meeting, okay? So Ms. McKean.
The participants that call in will be muted until public comments are requested, with exception of council members. Participants wishing to comment will press *9 to raise or lower their hand. A moderator will call on you when it is your turn to speak, at which time you will press *6 to unmute your microphone. Please state your name clearly for the record. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to comment, and when finished, press *6 again to mute your microphone to avoid background noise. Thank you.
All right. Everybody understand that, I guess?
Yes, sir.
At this time, we're going to go ahead and do roll call. I guess, Ms. Perkeen, I'll ask you again to go ahead and do the roll call for us.
Okay. Mayor Ronnie Frazier.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. What is it? You unmute. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
Councilman Donald Cook.
Here.
Councilman James Richardson.
Here.
Councilwoman Mary Fleming.
Here.
And Councilman Bill Kuhn.
Here.
Dale Williams, consultant.
Here.
Town Attorney, Coberline Law Office.
Fred Senior is here.
And myself, Interim Town Clerk, Connie Burkeen.
Good job. Okay. All right. At this time, we'll move to item number 1: additions, deletions, changes, and approval of agenda. I believe we do have one that Ms. Perkeen that we talked about that we wanted to add. Where did we want to add that at?
Well, you could add it to the beginning of where I am going to go over my items for under number 3.
So let's do that at the very top. You want to put it maybe A?
Yeah, I'll do that one the first. Or
Okay.
either that, it'd be easier probably to add it to the end. That way it won't mess up all the other numbers.
And what was that? What was the heading on that, Ms. Perkeen? I can't.
Resolution number 2020-201.
201. So 2020-201.
Yeah, make it number N as in Nancy under item 3.
So you want to make it N, okay, so LMN, so we'll put it to the bottom then, okay, so
Yes.
resolution 2020-201, okay, gotcha. All right. Oh, yeah, real quick, guys, before we move any further, the gentleman here with me, if for some reason we lose power and internet, if y'all would, we're going to, once the internet and the power comes back on, he'll put this back on he'll upload it again, and everybody will have to call back in like they just did, okay? So just know, like I said, I know there's a bad storm coming through right now, so for some reason it goes down and we'll have to start over, so. Anyway, we'll pick back up where we left off. All right, so at this point, we just made the change on the item 1. Can I get a motion to, as long as the councilmen are okay with it, can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'm making a motion to approve the agenda with the addition.
Can I get a second?
Councilman Cook.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Mary, all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, there's unanimous decision. We approve the agenda. All right, item number 2, approval of minutes, from March 19th, 2020. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on just a second. Fred Senior's calling, so I need to unmute him. Can you let him? Okay. Mr. Coberline, we didn't unmute you. Are you already on? Go ahead, Mr. Coberline.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, I had my hand raised, but you already conducted the vote. I would ask that you reconsider the agenda, item 2C. The materials were not published timely. They only came in last Friday. 2C.
But we do have don't we have a rough draft on that?
My son said that he's not seen the supporting materials. I'm sorry, he got them Friday, and they have not had time to be published.
All right, so what we need to, so to take that, remove that, so we need to strike that, is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
So how do we undo that?
Anybody that voted aye can say, I ask that we reconsider and we strike item 2C.
So we just need a motion to reconsider and strike 2C?
Yes, sir.
All right, Councilman.
I'll make a motion that we strike 2C at this time.
I second it.
Second? All right, good. All in favor of reconsidering and striking 2C, say aye.
Aye.
I thought in item 2C.
It's on the second, James, it would be on, if this is Mr. Richardson, I can't tell him. It'd be on your second page at the very top. It says, public hearing,
Public hearing.
first reading ordinance 2020 right-of-way franchise agreement.
Okay, so that's item 4C.
No, that'd be 2C. Well, I guess it would be 4. Would it be 4? No, it'd be 2C.
Under item 4, my agenda item 2 is the approval of the minutes.
Yeah, it's item 4, number 2, subsection C.
So it'd be 2C, right?
Item number 4, where it says new business,
Yes.
then under number 2, Fred Coberline,
Right.
then it's item number C, public hearing.
So item 4, 2C. All right, so Mr. Kuhn, would you rephrase your motion, please?
I make a motion to strike at this time, item 4, 2C.
All
I
right.
second
Here we
it.
go. Did you second it, Mr. Cook?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a second. So all in favor of striking item 4, 2C, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. All right, thank you, Mr. Coberline, I appreciate that. So we'll strike that, move.
Do I need to hit *9 to put my hand down?
Say that again, Mr. Coberline?
Do I need to hit *9 to put my hand down?
Need to hit *9 to put his hand down? I'll put it down. He already put it down for you, Mr. Coberline.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Yes, sir, we got you. All right, so, we'll move at this time. Do we get the agenda? So we approve the agenda. So item 2 will be approval of minutes from March 19th, 2020. I need a motion to approve the minutes if everybody's looked over.
I'll motion to
I make a
approve the
motion that
minutes.
All right, so we got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Good. All in favor of approving the minutes from March 19, 2020, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, unanimous decision. All right, at this time, we'll open for public participation. Remember, you're limited to 3 minutes. Yeah, so if you would, If you do want to speak at this time, please raise your hand, and then we'll have the coordinator unmute you and put you into the meeting. So I see no hands raised. All right. We will actually we'll close the public participation at this time. We'll move to item number 4, new business. Number 1 under new business is Sterling Carroll with the Florida Rural Water Association. The presentation and approval to convert from chlorine to hydrogen peroxide at the water plant. I don't see, do you see Mr. Ms. Connie, I don't see where Mr. Sterling is on the, if you're on, Mr. Sterling, if I don't see you, please raise your hand. Yeah, just hit *9. Okay. I don't know enough about this to talk about it. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know enough to talk about it, so.
He's not on.
So I guess Mr. Coverline, would the right terminology be just table?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to go at this time, we'll table number 1, item 4, number 1. Is all the councilmen okay with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Table item 4, number 1.
Okay. All right. We'll table at this time, number 1. Mr. Coverline, we need to make a motion on that?
You've got unanimous consent.
So just go ahead and just table, okay, gotcha. All right, good deal. So we have unanimous on table and it's all right. All right, so I'm striking that. So at this time, we'll move on from item number 1 or item 4, number 1 to number 2, which will be Mr. Coverline. Mr. Coverline, I'm going to let you. This is on the flood ordinance. I'm going to let you talk a little bit about this, read it, and then I think we have to have a public hearing on this, so we'll open up the public hearing.
Yes, sir. The resolution 2020-199 proclaimed a state of emergency for a period of 60 days and provided that the mayor could extend it for periods of 6 to 7 days thereafter. This resolution, 20-2205, ratifies the mayor's actions in extending it, and that's all it does, is it says that each time the mayor has extended it for the 7 days, we ratify the mayor's extension.
Gotcha, okay. All right.
Well, that's.
So I guess at this time, this is a public hearing on this, so, and this is the first reading, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead at this time and open it up for public hearing.
No, Ronnie, he skipped to item number 2B.
Okay, go ahead.
He's talking about item 2B.
Oh, okay, so he did the 2B.
Yes. We have
Okay.
to back up and go to A.
Go to A, Mr. Coverline, it's the A one.
My apologies, when we skipped the man that wasn't here, I also skipped to Eddie.
Okay. I thought you said 2020-205, and I was like, where's 205 at? It's okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's do 2020-206. I will be ultra brief. 2020-206 is the second reading. Will be scheduled for July 13th, and it passes today. This is the flood ordinance. As all the members of the city council that have been here for a while are aware, and most of the rest of you know secondhand, in order to maintain our flood insurance, the city has to comply with federal and state regulations. And what this ordinance does is it updates us. There are very small changes. Well, there's significant changes, but they're not the 5 or 6 pages worth of changes. But because of syntax problems and the problems getting a hold of the prior planner, what we've done is that we just deleted en masse and reinserted en masse to accommodate those changes. Right now, I've had trouble finding those changes, but I think that those of you that have read it when the agenda package came out probably noticed them.
Gotcha. All right. So at this time, I guess now we will open the flood ordinance 2020-206 up for public hearing. So if anybody has a question or wants to speak, please raise your hand. I guess at this time too, I guess if at this time too, guys, I guess if any of the council people had a question, they could speak too. No questions?
No question.
All right, so, what's that now?
I said that was good.
Okay, so at this time, we'll close the public hearing. We need to make a motion on, Mr. Kirby, on this first reading, do we need to go and make a motion on the flood ordinance 2020-206?
Yes, sir.
And just accepting it?
Passing it for second reading.
Say that again, sir?
The appropriate motion would be, I move that ordinance 2020 pass for second reading.
So we just moved to accept the flood ordinance to the second reading then?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Councilman, we need a motion, please.
I make a motion that we,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I make a motion that we approve flood ordinance number 2020-206, that we approve on the second reading.
Do I have a second?
Second motion.
That motion. Mr. Mayor?
All right, so we got a second, so any other discussion on it?
Mr. Mayor, Frank Overline Sr.
Yes, sir.
I have a bad telephone here, I believe.
I think you do. I barely can hear you.
I'm shouting as loud as I can. I have also a voice impediment. If the movement says I move on second reading, it should be I move for second reading. This is still the first reading.
Oh, okay. Okay, I make the motion to move to the second reading of this motion.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right. So since we already got so we make a motion to move to the second reading, okay. Can I get a second on that motion?
Second.
All right. Now, is there any more discussion on it? Good. All right. All in favor on the motion of moving to the second reading, say aye. And all opposed, say nay. Good. All right. So unanimous decision moves forward. All right, Mr. Coberline, now do you want to, which you already discussed, the resolution 2022-05 a while ago.
Yes, sir, it hasn't changed.
And proclamation extending the state of emergency due to COVID-19 public health emergency. So, he says it hasn't changed. So we need a motion. Do we need a motion on this? Of passing the resolution? Yeah, we need. So we need a motion, Councilman, on resolution 2020-205.
Well, if I can ask, why are we extending it?
Well, as far as I know, is we're following the guidance of the governor. Is from what my understanding is that correct, Mr. Coberline?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, if from me watching the news and talking to everyone around, you know, we're just being put on alert, and I know following the guidance of what the governor's putting out, and I think this is one of the reasons we're having a meeting like we're having today through media.
Right.
So that's what I gather, Mr. Richardson.
Thank you. Then I would motion to approve resolution 2020-205 2018-205.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second? Okay. All in favor of approving resolution 2020-205, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. And all right, so motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, who seconded that motion?
Mr. Who was it?
Yeah, Bill.
Bill,
Coon.
Mr. Coon.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so we'll move on, guys. We'll strike C, 2C. We'll move to item number 3. At this time, guys, all the stuff coming from A, basically all the way down to, I think we just added N, is going to be spoke on behalf by Miss Breachin. I'll get it right, Miss Brecan, in a minute. So I'm going to turn this over to her at this moment and let her speak on these items that's coming next, and we'll go from there. So, Ms. Brecan.
Thank you. As part of the record keeping, if you will, for the town, we have crafted some job descriptions, and they are in your packets, and we're just asking for you to approve the descriptions as they're written.
So, has all the council had time to look over these job descriptions?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
I'm good.
I do have a question.
okay.
But these job descriptions are for our current employees.
That is correct.
And any future employees.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Okay. So at this time, if y'all have had time to look at them, someone want to make a motion to approve the job descriptions?
Well, one other question that might be silly.
Okay.
The rate of pay listed in the job descriptions, I believe, is a good bit lower than we're currently paying the people that are currently filling those positions. This won't change their pay, will it?
No, the current employees will retain their rate of pay that they're at. That starting rate of pay is for replacement.
Thank you.
So, any more questions? No more questions? Okay. At this time, do we have a motion to approve the job descriptions?
I'll make a motion. Go ahead, Ms. Mayor.
Yes, I know this is difficult, guys. I'm sorry.
I make a motion to approve the job descriptions
All right, do I have a second?
for the employees.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss Mary. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
As I said, for the current employees and new hires.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, okay. All right, any more discussion on this item? All right, at this time,
We
all
currently,
in favor? Yes. I hear somebody say,
go ahead.
no? Okay. So all in favor of approving the job descriptions, say aye. And all opposed, say nay. All right, so it carries. All right, Ms. Connie, move right along.
We currently have 2 vacancies. One is town clerk and another is the general labor job position. I am requesting approval to advertise to fill these 2 positions.
Any questions, Councilman? If not, we just need a motion to give Ms. Connie permission to advertise.
I would motion to approve the request to advertise for the town clerk and general laborer positions.
Second?
I second.
Second. Good deal. Any more discussion? All right, all in favor of approving to advertise for applicants to fill the town clerk and general labor position, say aye.
Alright,
And all opposed, say nay. All right, so that all carries.
The next item is a request to schedule a workshop meeting for July the 7th at 6 p.m. We have several items that we need to have in-depth discussions about. One is the interlocal agreement with Columbia County for planning services. Also, traffic signal and street lighting maintenance services. We have a water system feasibility study performed by the Floral Rural Water Association with several recommendations. We have some solid waste disposal issues, and we need to discuss the upcoming Fort White election.
Now, is this meeting going to be by phone, or is it going to be, are we going to have a town meeting in person?
Guess it'd be by phone.
It's undetermined at this time. It'll just depend on how the governor's executive order goes.
In the way it looks right now, Mr. Cook, it looks like it'll probably be by media again.
As long as we have, like we did this time, sufficient paperwork so we can discuss it, and maybe the paperwork a little bit ahead of time, so we have time to study it. You know, we can do a good job over the phone, don't we have the paperwork to support it?
Correct. Is, Mr. Richardson, you okay with the 7th?
yes, I believe the 7th is we're extending the emergency order to the 7th, I believe, isn't that correct?
It was,
Did they run out like on?
I think it was a 30-day. It was a proclamation of state emergency to COVID-19. Yeah, I think it was the 7th or something, wasn't it? So yeah, we'll know a little bit more closer. We'll know a little closer to that date if it's going to be a meeting here. Ms. Connie, is this something that we could do? I mean, this might be a Mr. Williams question, but is this something that we could do? Could we perform a workshop like we're doing now?
Well, we may not have a choice. I mean,
Right.
there's several items on there that we need to address. The Floral
Right.
Rural Water Association especially is anxious for us to go over that water system feasibility study and give them some guidance regarding their suggestions,
Right.
as well as the upcoming Fort White election.
Well, I was going to say, I know that's right. Yes, that's right around the corner. So I know that's definitely on the target. So, yeah, I mean, guys, we'll just have to play it closer here and just, y'all stay in touch with Mrs. McCann as closer we get to that time, and we'll either have to have the gentleman come back down and do it this way, or either we can hopefully at that time be released to have a meeting. So, but as we should know something soon. So, but as y'all all see the news, they're shutting things back down. So I don't foresee we'll probably be doing it on the media.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but is that
Well,
Ms.
if you're
Mary?
ready,
That's
I
fine.
don't- I don't think we need a motion for that. We just need to agree, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we don't. Yes. So is everybody okay?
yes.
Yes. All right, that's Mr. Richard. How about Mr. Coon? You okay with 7th?
Yeah.
Ms. Fleming
Yes,
and Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Okay, we're good. All right, so we're good.
Okay, the next item is a request to approve FDOT streetlight maintenance agreement for the upcoming time period of July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021, and resolution number 2020-202.
So I don't look at this, guys, and all we need is a motion to approve it. For the lighting agreement.
This is a reimbursement agreement
Yes.
for money to be reimbursed to the town of Fort White for the maintenance
Right.
of the streetlights.
So I need a
I make a
motion.
motion that we approve resolution 2020-202.
We have a second?
Motion.
Second, okay. Any more discussion on it? All right, at this time, we'll, go ahead and make a vote. All in favor of approving resolution 2020-202, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. Item number E carries. All right, F, go ahead, Ms. Brecken.
No, it's item number D, and just for information's sake, the amount will be $10,803.60 that we will be reimbursed.
How much is it again? 8,000?
$10,803.60.
Okay, good deal. Awesome. We definitely need that, so okay, good.
The next item is E, 3E, and it is also a reimbursement agreement from the DOT for traffic signal maintenance for the same time period of July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021, and resolution number 2020-03. The amount on this reimbursement agreement will be $6,972.
Okay. And that's for the red, is that for the red light there, Miss?
Yes, it's for the school zones, the flashing beacons on the school zones and the traffic signal.
Okay, good, okay. All right, good. All right, Councilman, we need a motion.
I make a motion to approve the, resolution 2020-206.
203.
203.
203.
203, excuse me, I'm
203,
sorry.
yes, that's okay. Can I get a second?
I second it.
Second.
Second, okay. All right, no more any more discussion? All right, so all in favor of approving the resolution 2020-203, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Good, all right, so motion E carries.
The next item is a request to waive late fees on the utility bills for April, May, and now June, since the executive orders are being extended. Several people are out of work, and with the COVID confusion, we just felt like it was a good gesture to credit the late fees.
It's a nice gesture. I approve of it. Thank you. Not much, but we're not much of a town.
Every little bit helps, right?
I think
That's
it does.
right. Yes, it does. Mr. Coburn, do we need a motion on this, or is this just something we just all agree on?
I wish you hadn't asked.
Is that a bad thing?
Let me tell you why I wish you hadn't asked. For April and May, you do need a motion to approve. For June, you will need a motion to add June on short notice without notifying the public and publishing it in the agenda, which means that you would have to declare it an emergency. I wish you hadn't asked.
So I guess.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor, why couldn't we just go ahead and approve the 2 months and then next month approve June?
We can.
You don't have to go through all that.
Nice catch.
We'll approve June at a later date.
Leave
I
June off.
catch.
Gotcha. I'm okay with that. I mean, long as y'all are.
I'm good with it. I think the people need the help.
Yeah. So we just need to move right along, Ms. Brecken?
Yes. The next
Sounds
item
good to
is,
me. Sounds good to me.
You'll need a motion to approve as requested, item F, Mr. Mayor.
So Councilman, I need a motion to approve as requested, item F.
I make a motion
I would
that
like
we,
to approve.
You have a motion and
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
I make a motion that we waive the utility bills for the late fees of the utility bills for April and May 2020.
I would
Is that okay? Is that okay, Mr. Coverline?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. The June was just the bad part.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Yeah,
All in favor on, the request for approval of credit late fees on utility bills for April and May 2020, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. All right. So motion carries, item F carries. All right, go ahead, Ms. McCann.
this will be item G, and it is a request to approve a lease for a copier. And I just want to say that's one of the reasons why your data you received late was because our printer only prints 1 page a minute. And therefore, I went down to Office Depot yesterday and had it all copied. So that's why we need a copier desperately. It's also going to save us money in the long run because the toner alone for the printer costs $109 for just the black. And we're going through 1 a month easily because we do not have a copier.
I will agree with that. Because I know
There are two leases to consider. One is from Macrotech at $114.08 a month, and the other is from McCrimmons for $125 a month.
How many copies does that give you, Ms. Connie?
We get up to 1,000 black and white for $5 from Macrotech and $30 from McCrimmons. And then color, we get 100 a month, which is included in the lease for Macrotech. And it would be $7 a month for the same amount with McCrimmons.
Okay. If the councilman's okay, if the councilman's okay with it, I'd like to go ahead and get the request approved for you. But before you decide to do something, let me call them because for some reason I'm getting a better deal at my office. I don't know why. I pay them, I think it's $69 a month. And that gets me.
Is it Macrotech? You got Macrotech? Which
No, sir, I got McCrimmons in all my lots. So
Well,
I
their
don't know.
base rate is $88, and it may be that this is a much larger copier because we need it to be able to duplex and collate and do some other things.
I mean, what I'm saying, the copy machine I've got is huge. It's a business size that I wireless to. I run contracts through it. I do everything through it. So I don't know why I just like the opportunity to call them and say, why am I getting this deal and you're charging this deal? But I'd like to go ahead and get you approved for this anyway, and then just let me call them and see if I can save some money for y'all.
For a second.
Approve it subject to.
Right, exactly. Approve it subject to, and just let me call if I can save. I mean, if y'all approve it for $114 or whatever, and I can get them to reduce it to $69, I don't think nobody will have a problem with that.
Well, that's two different companies. If we approve Macrotech at 114, then McCrimmons is out.
Right. How much was McCrimmons?
$125 a month.
125.
Yeah.
Well, it's whatever y'all want to do. I mean, like I said, if y'all wanted to do the up to 125, and then I can make some phone calls. I don't know why they're,
Yeah.
like I said, I got a big copy machine at my office.
And by the way, this does include maintenance.
And mine does too, and they ship you toner, as needed. It comes with the toner, packages and everything, so I don't know why I just like to have an opportunity to talk.
Yeah.
To give you a chance, Mr. Mayor, to talk to them, could we put this on as part of the July 7th workshop?
Well, we can,
I mean, not any of them have to wait longer than they have to wait.
yeah, I just hate for them to have, because I know what they're working with in there, Mr. Richardson, with the tools that they've got, and it's tough for them. I mean,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? That's why.
You won't be voting in the workshop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in order to get ready for the workshop, with all those subjects, I really need it.
For this,
Yeah, that
for the
printer
second-
there it's about to die anyway, too, the one she's working with.
I went to Office Depot yesterday and we made 1,200 copies and it cost us $86.
Yeah.
and for the second discussion, I'm gonna make a motion. I make a motion that we approve Microtech, the, 114.08 a month. I make a motion.
Okay. Do I have a
I
second?
would second that motion.
Okay.
I would second.
Any more discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the Microtech for $114 a month, say aye.
All right.
114.08.
114.08, I'm sorry, 114.08, say aye. Good. All opposed, say nay. All right. And what I'll do, Councilman, is I still will call McCrimmons, and if I can get them to get it for cheaper than the 114, then we'll just bring that back up if we have to. But at least she can move forward with that. So
Yeah, we've approved this. I think we'd go with this, and
okay.
it wouldn't be fair to go back to McCrimmons without going back to Microtech. But we've
Right.
approved Microtech just now, so they got the deal, I guess.
I'm good. All right, Ms. Conley.
Okay. Item number H is a request to approve the purchase of office furniture and a printer. If you will look on the list, we're asking for an L-shaped desk for the assistant town clerk. We need a new printer for the town clerk. The one we have right now only does the water bills. Therefore, I have to run out to the other office every time I want to print something and get it off the printer. The other thing is we need a lateral file cabinet for all of the records that we have stored. They are in boxes right now. They really need to be in file cabinets where they can be preserved better. And also a bookcase to put the many volumes of resolutions, ordinances, meeting minutes, meeting notices, etc. The items from Quill added up to $2,044.99. From Office Depot, it's $1,892.98. And I have a 20% off coupon laying here for Office Depot that I got yesterday for spending money.
I would like to ask something. And I think Williams is aware that prior to the departure of the previous clerk, she was in the process of getting us some lateral filing cabinets for free from the University of Florida, or the city of Gainesville, I don't remember which it was. And I wonder, is that something we can still do to get them for free? And maybe even they might have other furniture. I'm not familiar with the program, but I believe Mr. Williams had discussed this with the former clerk.
The file cabinet we're asking for is the items that University of Florida came up here and went through, and they're currently being stored in the shed out back, which is not climate controlled, and it's all helter-skelter out there, just kind of thrown in boxes. So we need to get that out of there as soon as we can.
Any more questions, Councilman? Any more?
Would you happen to know who to contact at UF?
I could get the information, but maybe I personally don't have it. But I do have another question, because, I mean, it sounds like a really good deal on new stuff that you found. But, I mean, how much money is left in our general budget for the, 2019, 2020 budget that we're working off of? The general account. I just don't want us to go broke.
We would probably take the money out of the enterprise account for these items, which has a sufficient balance.
Okay, and is Mr. Williams not able to hear us?
Yes, he can hear.
And am I mistaken that you had talked with the previous clerk about getting the lateral filing cabinets donated to us by University of, I believe it was University of Florida?
It was, you are correct, Councilman. It was through the Division of Libraries, which I believe you also stated. We have attempted to follow up one time since that conversation. We were not successful because at that time there was a closure. We left a message, but we have not yet received a response, but we can certainly follow back up. I think the difference here is the filing cabinets that we hope to get donated from the University of Florida want to be used to file those materials which Connie just referred to that are stored in a non-climate controlled building. They're somewhat in disarray. The filing cabinet that she's requesting to be purchased with the list of items tonight would actually be placed here in the office. It would be a working file, something they would use that. So it doesn't in any way diminish from the need to get the filing cabinets that would be donated. It's still something we wish to do. We just gotta wait until we can make contact and follow back up on that lead.
Not only that, but it's going to take several to file all of the documents that need to be preserved, and this is just one for here in the office.
Okay, honestly, I couldn't understand most of what Mr. Williams said, so I'll just go with whatever you guys decide.
Sounds like this one new file cabinet would probably match the furniture and everything, be new and match. So it looks like Office Depot has the best price, and she's also got a 20% discount coupon also. For sake of discussion, I'll make a motion that we go with the Office Depot quote of $1,892.98.
I'll second.
Got a second? Okay. All right. Before we make a call, is there any more discussion on it?
Mr. Mayor, this is Dale. Can we hear better now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we can. Yes, sir.
I apologize for that. I just wish to reiterate the answer to the question where everybody has the same information. We have followed up with the Division of Libraries, with the State of Florida, University of Florida. Unfortunately, they were closed at that time because of the COVID restrictions. We have not been able to get anyone to call us back. We're going to continue to follow that lead. We would very much like to take possession of those cabinets. We do intend to use them for the material or the files that are stored in this rear building on the town hall property, which are in an unadvertised area and they're somewhat in disarray. So we in no way want to diminish from that gift. We wish to receive it. We just having to wait until we can get a hold of the right people and follow back up.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
And you also made mention about the budget overall. Most of you are aware we're still doing a reconciliation on the budget, making sure that we have the chart of accounts fully complied with. The chart of accounts being the state of Florida's guideline for where you charge certain expenses. To the very best of my knowledge, I'm not seeing any line items that have exceeded from your current budget in this entire process, and I don't expect to find any. But as soon as the reconciliation is complete, we will make sure that we get a full accounting to each and every council member.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was that Mr. Coon?
I just said thank you.
Oh, okay, I got you. Did that help everybody's questions? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Coberline, I see you there, buddy. Go ahead, Mr. Coberline.
Mr. Mayor, the motion is slightly confusing because the clerk announced the price that Home Depot had bid and then said less 20%, but the motion does not seek the credit for the 20%.
Well, I mentioned she had 20% discount above the takeoff of this price, but I mentioned the price in the quote. But of course, we'll use our discount also on top of that.
Thank you, sir.
Is that good enough, Mr. Coberline?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So any more discussion on this item? All right. At this time, we're going to call for a vote. All in favor. Where's the? I'm lost. Y'all got me so confused now.
H.
That'd be H. Request to approve. What was your motion again?
I'll say you ain't got to repeat it. As to purchase the material from the
Office furniture
quote
All right, so just
$1,892.98. Plus, we got a 20% discount coupon
plus
to
discount.
go towards that also.
There we
So
go.
I'll make a motion. We use Office Depot quote with the coupon.
So basically, we need approval for
He's doing that cool.
the Office Depot. Motion was for the Office Depot of $1,892.98 plus the discount.
Right.
Right.
All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. All right, so the motion carries. That was a tough motion there.
The next item is a request to adopt new meeting rules and procedures policy with resolution number 2020-204. I am aware that you had adopted some meeting rules and procedures previously. However, they were very complicated and laborious. Our consultant, Mr. Williams, has developed these new meeting rules and procedures to make it very easier for us to conduct business.
Have y'all had time to go through these?
Yes, I have a couple of questions. Let's see. Under the rules, item number 2C, I have questions about the mayor shall have the authority to arrange the order of the speakers, and the next sentence, speakers will be limited to the public comment time specified on the council's agenda, with the mayor at the sole discretion of the mayor. Is that legal?
I think what the answer is, Councilman, is when you have an organized meeting and you have public participation, the mayor is basically the sergeant at arms and is conducting the meeting. It's not to take any right or privilege away from any council member, but when it says the mayor at their sole discretion may allow individuals to address each item scheduled on the agenda, it's really just a point of order. You had public comments on tonight's agenda, but the mayor could have said, instead of taking public comments before the meeting, we're going to allow public comments to be given on each item as it's presented. And that's really rather common in these meeting rules and procedures for most jurisdictions. By the same token, the council, if the mayor's not doing that, but the council wants to do it, the council can do it by motion. The council member could say, I think it's appropriate tonight, entertain a motion, and then it's done that way also. But it's really just a way to make sure that the meeting moves more smoothly and people are given a proper opportunity to speak.
And then under item D, and again, these are questions of, is this legal? So, if 15 people come to talk to us, is it legal for us to say, well, only 3 of you can talk to us?
Well, it says here, the mayor may ask the primary representative of the group or faction to designate a maximum of 3 individuals. And he can select the 3. Now, as far as legalities go, Councilman, I can tell you that these were submitted to Mr. Coberline Jr., and he did review them, and I received no comment back that anything here was in any way a violation of some individual's rights. But again, if the mayor were to decide he wanted to limit a group of 15 to 3 and the council disagreed, the council simply overrules them. So, you do have checks and balances.
I think we had discussed that once before. If it's a large group of people, just to have certain ones specifically to speak.
We did, I think we did too, Miss Mary. I think that's when the water item was pending.
Right.
Yeah, I think this is a good rule because if you got 15 people want to speak and the 15 people are going to be saying almost the same thing identically 15 different times, I think they could choose, 1 or 3 speakers to represent the group and try to address all their wants and needs one time, about 15 times. So I think this is a good check and balance, but like he said, the council can overrule and not everybody speak if we really think it's necessary. Through resolution or motion.
That's great.
Mr. Mayor?
Just wanted to make sure it was legal.
Yes, sir, Mr. Coberline.
During the council's discussion, I looked up Chapter 286 Florida statutes, which specifically provides that the council or any board considering a rule may prescribe procedures for allowing representatives of groups or factions on a proposition to address the board rather than all members of such groups or factions at meetings in which a number of individuals wish to be heard. So the answer to the question is, the Florida legislature has decided that it is absolutely 100% legal, just like Mr. Williams said.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Coberline.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions, Councilman?
No, I make a motion that we accept resolution 2020-204.
We have
Second motion.
say that again, Mr. Caroline?
That we pass resolution 20.
That we pass it, okay.
That we pass resolution 2020-204, that we pass it.
Okay.
I'm sorry to be picking on y'all, but I don't get a chance to participate in more quite as often as I'd like to. I want to be sure to get the minutes.
You're doing fine, Ms. Caroline.
You're doing good. You made a motion.
Madam, we got a motion, do we have a second?
Second motion.
Got a second, okay. Any more discussion?
I would like to say that I don't support telling the people I represent that I won't take the time to listen to what they have to say when they take the time to come speak to me.
Well, I don't, Ms. Richards, I don't think that you're telling them that. It's if you had 15 people showing up on the same topic and they were all going to be saying the same thing about the same, I think that's what this is moving to. And I think we had that item, like Ms. Fleming said earlier, we had that same subject come up about the water that time. And if you remember, the 25 people that spoke said pretty much the same thing. And then they came back and repeated it a second time, the second meeting. So I do agree with you. I think people should have a voice, but I think, if you come to a meeting like that, I think that you could get what you need to say across with 3 different members. I believe that you could get your point across, I think.
But I remember us talking about this before, and I objected to it then as well.
Yes, sir.
But that's just my opinion.
I got you. Yes, sir. All right. At this time, guys, we'll call for a vote. So all in favor of passing, as Mr. Coberline says, the new meeting rules and procedures policy and resolution 2020-204, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
So we have, correct me if I'm wrong now, we have three yays and 1 no. All right?
That's correct.
Okay. So 3-1, okay. All right. All right, Ms. Rakan?
The next item is a request to select a committee or issue a directive from the town council regarding responses to the RFP that was put out in February, I believe, for grant writing and administrative consulting services. We received several proposals, and they need to be looked over and rated accordingly. And we just want a directive from the council whether or not they want to do it and choose someone to go over them and do it, or how would they like to proceed with that?
This is on the RFP for grant writing. Okay. I thought wasn't Ms. Connie, wasn't Greg Bailey, North Florida Services, they're not in this batch?
Yes, they are, along with 3 others.
Right.
So we need to review them and determine who is provide the best service.
Right, I got you. Okay.
And there is a score sheet attached to the RFP that was put out on how they'll be scored.
Well, there was, but the problem with that score sheet is that none of the councilmen or myself were involved with that. That was done, I guess, behind the scenes. I don't know how it really got done, but anyway, that was done. We knew nothing of that score sheet. And then that's how we driven our decision when it came down to it. And I think that night, if I recall, Councilman, y'all help, but I thought we picked 2 engineering. I was on engineering, not on grant writing, but I was on engineering. So I guess this was done the same way because I don't remember picking a grant writer.
Well, Mr. Coberline, is this, since this was put out with the RFP, would it be required to be followed, the scoring?
Whatever is in the RFP is the policy and procedures that the council use in making this selection.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, this is Dale.
Yes.
This item predates both Connie and I. These responses were actually received in this office in February. So they've actually been sitting and they haven't been scored for several months. I think there's two options here. One is the council may appoint a committee or else give some other direction to Connie and I. If the board prefers, if the board did not like the scoring sheet, then you have the right to just dismiss the responses. You don't have to score them. You can simply say that based on additional information or based on desired changes, you're going to terminate the review of the responses to this particular RFP. I do not know what the council had in mind when they issued it. I didn't know if this was for a specific project or whether it was just to have somebody in general under contract. But I don't want you to think because you have some issues with the RFP that you have to proceed under those guidelines. You have the right to dismiss this entirely.
I kind of like the idea of dismissing because I don't think we're involved properly. I don't think it was scored properly, and I think this thing is tainted.
Yeah, does any of the council member even remember voting on this?
I don't even remember it coming.
I don't even remember it coming before discussion, to be honest with you. I don't know where we even got these score sheets from.
But I would think we throw that all together and start anew. But Greg Bailey's done a wonderful job for this town as our engineer, and
I agree.
I like the work he's done.
I agree. There's a lot of stuff that Greg's done for the town and hasn't even charged. So I do agree with that. That's Mr. Williams, to go back to help, I guess, the councilman and I guess myself to understand. So we can make a motion right now just to basically void these out?
Yeah, basically what would happen upon approval of that motion is Connie would prepare a letter which you would sign. And we would return the response received back to the individual parties who submitted them. The letter would simply explain that the town has decided to take a different course of action or the town has no desire to proceed at this point.
So we just need a motion to terminate the.
Yeah. I would think the appropriate motion would be to terminate the request for proposal responses received in relation to the grant writing administrative services project.
Y'all make that sound so easy to say.
I do recall us talking about this. It was either at the end of last year or Christmas time. If you look at the RFP 2020-03, it was advertised in January through February. All that was done under Katie Hughes according to the paperwork. And again, as y'all said, I don't know how the scoring and all was done. I don't remember us ever being asked to do that. I personally always prefer a committee when you can get one, but in the state of emergency with the COVID virus, I believe it would be very hard for us to put together a committee. So I support the motion that was read just a moment ago.
And I agree with you, Mr. Richardson. We did. I think we ran. I do remember that, but what I remember it was on engineering services, not on grant writing. So I don't know where the RFP came from. I know that we did run something very similar to this. It was more on engineering services. I don't recall
I
this.
think we did both.
Did we? Okay, we might have. It might have been where this kind of drifted from. I don't know. I do remember the engineering services. So, but all right. So one more time, Mr. Williams, to terminate, to request, to move.
Yes, sir. I think an appropriate motion would be to terminate the request for proposals pertaining to grant writing, administrative consulting services. And that's all we need to say.
All right, Councilman. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we terminate the proposal that we requested for grant writing and engineering services, and that we terminate this request.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Good. Any more discussion? All right. So this time, call for a vote. All in favor of terminating the request for proposal for grant writing and engineering services, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. So that carries. All right, Ms. Burkan.
The next item is a request to approve a contract for engineering services to be provided by Mid-Alere and Associates. This is in response to the RFP that you put out for engineering, and according to the letter that they sent in, they were chosen as one of the engineering firms that were approved to do work for the town of Fort White, and this is just their contract to make that, memorialize that choice. That doesn't mean that we can only use them.
Right, but here's what, and Mr. Richardson just touched on that a while ago, was we didn't have a say-so in that. That was the point, that point scale, that was how they got chosen. And we looked at the point scale because I remember me and Mr. Greg Bailey having a discussion about that in particular, that he didn't feel that the point scale, that how they were chosen was done correctly. And I did agree when I looked at it, because one of the questions on there was what engineering firm is the closest to your town? And I mean, nobody's closer than Greg Bailey is to us here, North Florida Services, and they actually outscored him, and they was 40 or 50 miles further. So when we looked at it and took it all into consideration, it didn't look like it had been scored correctly. And I know the councilmen never, and ladies, never had anything to do with that scoring system. So that's my 2 cents in it. And I know Mr. Cook just kind of gave his 2 cents about the way he felt about North Florida Services. I know North Florida Services has done a lot for this town, and I would hate to put them on the back burner because of this.
And we terminated the one above J, so actually you would think that indirectly it would terminate K also. Or we should eliminate K because we terminated J.
Right.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
If I may, obviously the conventional words of wisdom would be, if you do not think this is a company that should represent the town, then by all means, do not approve this contract. I would have to defer to Mr. Kuberline for some advice. Do not approve the contract if this is not a party that you wish to do business with at this time.
Well, that was just my personal opinion about, the relationship that the town's had here for years, even before I got here, the relationship they've had with Greg Bailey and North Florida Services.
Well,
you know, I know Greg, like Mr. Cook said, has done a lot for this town over the years and asked for a lot. And I know the town has never really even gave him a contract. Then when I became mayor here, he started kind of pushing for a contract. And I think there was a disagreement between the last town clerk and their office. I don't know what it all was about, but I think, you know, there was a little bit of rally here to replace him. And that didn't come from the council people. That was coming more from administration inside.
Sure.
So I think that's where a lot of the scoring got kind of moved around and wasn't scored correctly, I guess is what I'm saying. So I know that, and that's just my personal belief. I'm not speaking for the other councilman. I'm just saying what I feel. So
Well,
you know, the other councilman have to make that decision. So
again, these were decisions that predated mine. And what I would simply suggest that if that is the feeling of the council, that you simply deny the contract. And once you deny the contract, we'll just send a letter back to this particular company advising that the council is taking another direction.
I make a motion that we deny the contract to Nutella and Associates.
do we have a second?
I second.
Any-
I second the motion.
Okay. Miss Mary seconded, so do we have any discussion on this?
Ronnie, I would like, Mr. Mayor, I would like to say that it kind of seems like we're getting the RFP mixed up with this. I thought I remembered that we decided we wanted to have more than one company for engineering services on hand, and that we didn't want to lock ourselves into any one company when we, and I believe Ms. Connie said that this contract does not do that.
Yeah, I think that's correct, but I think the way they were chosen with the point system is maybe not accurate, and I'd rather make a decision to award a contract, even for, you know, to be using more than one possibility, that they could use more than one engineer, but I want it to be based on sound scores or sound points that were derived accurately.
I do agree with that.
I think this is because we terminated Jay. I think we need to not award this contract based on that.
I think if we wanted, Mr. Richards, I think what we need to do is come back to this, and if we do have two engineering firms that we want to, you know, seek out, and then do a true scoring sheet and let the councilman be the decision makers on the scoring sheet. I just feel like, you know, the last time
I've never heard of middle, or however you say it.
I haven't either. I don't even know who they are. I think they're out of Gang. I don't even know.
Orange Park.
Oh yeah, they're out of Orange Park. That's exactly where they're out of. Yes. So I mean, you know, being this close to North Florida, I don't know if the guy in Orange Park is going to work harder to do stuff for us, or, you know what I'm saying? I think that the guy closer to us would try to take care of us better, but
right. I have no problem with North Florida. I think they've done a great job for us.
is everybody on board with? I know Miss Mary just made the second, so is everybody on board with the motion?
Yes.
Let's go ahead and take a vote real quick. So, so the engineering service, so we're basically terminating the contract at this point. Is that right, Mr. Williams?
We're denying it.
Denied.
Denying. Okay. So all in favor of denying the contract for engineering services to be provided by Middle-ear and Associates, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, so we are denying Move denying contract, contract. Okay, Ms. Buchanan, you can, move forward.
The next item is a request to add the interim town clerk to the Ameris Bank accounts. This is simply a logistics issue, and it makes it very difficult to try to reconcile the accounts when I don't have access to anything where I can see what the deposits were for or what the checks were for. As well as Miss Mary coming up here twice a week to sign checks.
Right. Which was Miss Mary, or, we still have to have two signatures.
Right.
On the check.
Right. Yes.
But what Ms. Buchanan just said, it has been an absolute nightmare, because she's got to call me, they've got to send me the information, I've got to forward her the information, I've got to call the bank and hold on line for an hour to get somebody to talk to me to tell them that they can talk to her. It has been a disaster. So, but we've done it for last 90 days.
Almost 3 months.
Yeah, so guys, I'll tell you, it's been tough. So I will personally ask y'all to approve this one. It's been a rough road, and she needs to be able to get into the account so she can see, her checks and balances, and she can't. So she's got to call me to call Rachel. I even know these people by name now. Anyway, to call Miss Rachel at Ameris Bank to call her to give her proof or give her permission to talk to Miss Buchanan. And she already knows she can at this point, but I've got to tell her every time before she can access the account.
I'm ready to make a motion to approve the request.
Go ahead, Mr. Richardson.
I'll motion to amend the request to add the interim town clerk to Ameris Bank accounts.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Awesome. Any more discussion? All right, at this time, we'll take vote. All in favor of approving to adding the interim town clerk to the Ameris Bank account, say aye.
Aye.
Good. All opposed, say nay. All right, good deal. This is gonna help out greatly, guys, I can tell you. Sure. All right, Ms. Buchanan?
Okay, the next item is a request to renew our insurance with Florida Municipal Insurance Trust. And at the suggestion and recommendation of the town attorney, increase the auto liability to $1 million. There also on the policy are 2 vehicles that the town no longer has that we need to remove. Making these 2 adjustments will result in a net budget impact of $300, which is a positive of $300.
Okay. Thought I was negative. Okay, good.
So it increased our insurance bill every month, to $300 a month.
It will save $300.
What, Ms. Buchanan, I'm not trying to play dumb here, but the Ford 250 utility truck and a 1998 Ford sedan, what was that?
I have no idea. They were listed on the policy when I was looking it over, and I said, do we still have these things? And Vernon and Buster both said no. So obviously we don't need to insure them if we don't own them.
Go ahead, Mr.
Hudson
Richardson.
drove the sedan. I believe Mr. Hudson drove the sedan.
Oh, wow. So
In other words, they've been long gone.
Oh, wow.
So you've been paying for a long time on 2 vehicles you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the insurance for Florida Municipal Insurance Trust?
Yes.
Is this the insurance, guys, is this the insurance that we just went over with, where we went through all the buildings and all that stuff not long ago?
No, this is auto. This is for auto liability.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, it's okay, I'm reading it now, it says all, okay, that's
I
right.
don't understand how that truck and that car's been on there that many years. That car's been gone 15 years.
Yeah, that's Wow.
300 years. Wow.
It's been gone over 10 years.
And you say,
That truck was sold at the auction the last time they had a Fort White auction, that truck was sold.
So Miss Burkhan, you said the $300, is that quarterly, or is that monthly, or is that?
That's annual.
That's annual, okay.
We will save $300 by removing the two vehicles and still increasing our liability coverage to $1 million.
Gotcha, okay.
How much is the liability now?
The total, Mr. Combs?
No, the amount, I'd have to look it up.
You want to increase it to $1 million, what is it? How much is it?
Probably 300,000.
Yeah.
I believe that's
300,000
correct.
is a common, but we need $1 million.
That was
You definitely need $1 million. Commercial vehicle needs to be $1 million.
Yeah, I can't believe they ain't had $1 million in the past. I mean, that's crazy, because everybody I know. Yeah, you got to have $1 million on everything anymore. Yeah.
Got to have millions before you can do anything.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right,
Mr. Mayor,
yes, sir.
I don't want to lead the city council astray. The recommendation for an increase is not based upon the fact that $1 million coverage is needed because of a single claimant. The reason for the recommendation from the town attorney is that the current sovereign immunity of $300,000 really messes up a family of our community if there is an accident involving more than one member. For example, if a family of 4 is in a car and unfortunately an accident is caused by a Fort White vehicle, all 4 of those people are limited to $300,000.
Oh, wow, okay.
Disability. As we know from our private lives, oftentimes $1 million coverage is needed, but that's not what this recommendation is based upon. This recommendation is based upon providing additional $300,000 limits for each person.
Gotcha, okay. Then that makes sense then, okay. Councilman, y'all hear that?
Yes.
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 All right, so we need a motion to renew insurance with Florida Municipal Insurance Trust with an increase up to $1 million for auto liability. And the removal, I guess, and the removal of the 250 utility truck and the 1999 Ford sedan, because she probably won't be able to get, Ms. Burkhan won't be able to get that off unless we motion it.
I would motion to request to renew the insurance with Florida Municipal Insurance Trust to $1 million and to remove the 2 old vehicles that we no longer own.
I
Second.
second it.
Cool. Any more discussion? All right. Take a vote now. All in favor of request to renew insurance with Florida Municipal Insurance Trust with an increase of $1 million and remove the 2 older vehicles. Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, so that carries. All right, Miss Connie, or Miss Connie.
That's
Burkhan,
quite
I'm
all
gonna call you. I'm gonna
right.
call you all kind of names tonight. So, Miss Burkhan, the last one, I believe, in.
Yes, it's resolution number 2020-201, and it's relating to the state revolving fund loan program, authorizing the loan application, authorizing the loan agreement, and establishing pledged revenues, designating authorized representatives, providing assurances, providing for conflict, severability, and effective date. What this is the loan program through the Florida Rural Water Association for the sewer plant expansion. And This loan is for engineering services, and it's in the amount of $25,000 and would be repayable over 15 years with our accounts receivable from the water system pledged as collateral.
That was over how many years, Ms. Connie?
15.
15
You said
years.
sewer,
Okay.
you said sewer, we don't, you know, what is regarding the sewer, what is this, is it feasibility?
You have
study
already
sources?
approved this at a previous meeting to go ahead with the loan application. This is just to approve the resolution.
Good.
Y'all have any questions, Councilman?
No.
Well, at this time, if not, we, go ahead, Mr. You got something, Mr. Coon?
No, I said, no, I don't have no
Oh,
questions
okay, I got
about
you. Mr. Cook?
No.
Ms. Fleming?
Yes, sir.
Nope, okay. Well, then we need a motion, for resolution 2020-201. Now, Ms., before we motion it, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Ms. Connie, is this what, we gotta have another reading on this, right?
No, it's not an ordinance, it's a resolution.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we're good. Okay, all right, so yeah. So go ahead, Ms. Rich, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution to
2020.
submit the loan application in 2020-201.
Good. You have a second?
Second.
Good. Any more discussion? All right, at this time, we'll take a vote. All in favor of approving resolution 2020-201, say aye.
Aye.
it.
All opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. All right. And so we'll move to item number 5, which is announcements. Is there any announcements anybody needs to make?
I have something I would like to say, since we are lucky enough to have Mr. Coberline Sr. on the phone with us tonight. And thank you to whoever has made this possible. It's worked pretty good, I think, for our first day. But Mr. Coberline has been honored and named one of America's most honored lawyers. That's a huge honor, and I just wanted to congratulate you, Mr. Coberline.
Thank you, sir.
Well, you didn't share that with us, Mr. Coberline, to begin with.
America's most honored lawyers.
Yeah, you didn't want you. What's that, Mr. Coberline?
I told him congratulations.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, congratulations, Mr. Coberline. That's a big honor. Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Glad to always have you. Yes, sir. You welcome at the town of Fort White meetings anytime.
Well, I appreciate it. I enjoy coming down there a lot better than I enjoy this telephone stuff, though.
Yeah, I do too. It's hard to hear on these things, I can tell you. So I'm having a hard time myself. So, but
Well, it is. And y'all, I know
Thank you.
are aware.
Say that again.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Coberline. Any more announcements, guys?
Just a reminder about the June 7th workshop, and we will provide more info ASAP.
Awesome, sounds good.
We set a
Thank you.
time for that.
6
We're
p.m.
trying to get, we set a time.
It says
6 p.m.
six.
Thank you.
6 p.m., yeah.
Thanks.
You'll get the information out to all of us, Miss Connie?
Yes, I will.
Okay, great, good deal. Guys, I appreciate all y'all. I'm hoping that, I don't know how structured this was, but, I hope it went as smooth on y'all's end, so, but,
I think it went pretty well.
yeah, not as bad as I thought it was gonna go. I tell you, I was really worried about it. I was like, man, I don't know how this thing's gonna go, but it didn't go too bad, so not bad at all.
Right.
But I appreciate all y'all guys, and, if y'all need anything, just give us a holler.
All right, good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank y'all guys. Item number 6 is adjournment, so at this time, I'm gonna ask for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that this meeting be adjourned.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Good deal. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Bye.
All opposed, say nay. Good night, guys. Appreciate y'all.